Good morning. I've viewed the videos post about Brian Carn and the young lady, Vashti, who he has had a relationship for 10 years with. You know, I'm not going to waste my time or your time discussing with you how he's not a real man of God, how he's not a prophet, how he, anything along the lines of his ministry. I'm not. God has been very good, gracious, kind, true to his word, made it clear multiple times in multiple instances that Carn isn't his vessel. God has made that very clear, and I thank him for that. I thank him for loving us enough to bring the truth to us. The reality is that no matter how many times God has so lovingly and precious, just in the spans of all of creation on this planet, he made sure that you knew the truth. He loved you enough that he made sure you knew the truth. You still choose, for whatever reason, you see, you choose to allow Carn to be very intimate with you. You allow him to be so into your life spiritually. You open your spiritual man up to him to so speak into, impart into your lives after you have heard the truth. And now you are guilty of that. He's no longer responsible, but you are. And that's what people don't realize. God holds you accountable for what you know. God holds you accountable when he has made sure you know the truth and you still choose to go after what is not his, and he is exposed in his all power, all knowing, merciful love, and you still keep going back. And so, because you want to be one with deception, you want to be one with manipulation, you want to be one with occultism, then there is nothing I can say to you. Because after I get done using my breath to tell you, well, I like them. All sin and fall short of the glory of God. See, you're operating in the spirit that was imparted to you. Manipulation, twisting the word, perverting the word, just so you can keep doing what you want to do. And that's exactly what he does. So I'm not going to waste, I'm not going to hold you like that. This isn't the video for you. Because you want to come and hear something and then turn around and do what you want to do anyway. I don't have time to play with you like that or anyone else when it comes to the things of God and the people of God. Now, because you chose to follow a rebellious spirit, because you operate in a rebellious spirit, you are in covenant with it, you are one with it, you have allowed it into your life, you continue to open your life to it, then I say to you, I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful afternoon. But this conversation, it is for the people of God about this subject. Because you're going to see, what you don't understand, let me just be real clear. See, you want to talk about the woman who opened her legs to Carn, but you opening your spirit man to Carn, it is way more dangerous than any woman opening their legs to him. So you are the one way more breached than they are. Now, this isn't the first time we've heard of these allegations about Carn as far as premarital sex, affairs with people's wives, and basically sexual immorality is how the enemy manifests itself. One of the ways the enemy manifests itself through his members, it is through sex, right? That's one of the ways. The other one is getting up there being spiritually intimate with people, and mostly women. And I'm not going to touch it. Yeah, right. But Vashti's, long post isn't the first time we've heard of Mr. Carn referring to people as his wife, and he's having premarital sex with them. There was a young lady some years back. Her name was Letitia Brown. You see her right there on the screen. Her name is Letitia Brown. And she attended a church service one evening during the summer, and she stood up and she was hysterical. She was with her daughter, and she was saying how Carn had told her that she was his wife, and how Carn told her that they were going to be together and everything, but they were in fact fornicating, having sex together or whatever. And social media and all of these large platforms and content creators tore that woman asunder. They ripped her to shreds. They called her crazy. They gaslit her. They drug her name. They drug her personality. They talked about her like a dog for years. And see, she's gone on. I did some research before I did this video to kind of find out what was going on with her, where she at. She's a huge supporter of Demetrius Senegal, who has previously stated that Brian Carn had an affair with his wife, but she's now under his ministry. As recent as March, I saw photos. She's enjoying her time in France. She went on a trip to France, and she went to England and a couple other places she's been, and life has been treating her well. She's still just as beautiful as she was then. She's still just as beautiful now. The difference is with her life is the following. She's no longer being torn asunder. She has pretty much disappeared and went on to live her life, right? And this is the problem. She went on to live her life after being beat down and virtually verbally destroyed by these people calling her crazy and all of these things. She turned around, went on. But guess what? The behavior with Carn didn't stop. Now we have another woman showing up saying the same thing. And one thing, people are verbally destroyed on these platforms, and you all don't care about them. You just wipe your little feet off on them, and you just gone on about your business. You don't even remember their names. I'm pretty sure you didn't remember this young lady, did you? I did. She's a wonderful young lady. I used to comment on her posts and just kind of encourage her and stuff, because you could just tell she had a very loving heart, very friendly, bubbly spirit. But y'all went for her neck, her throat, and to God be the glory, she made it over, because I don't know how she did. Because it was a lot that y'all did to her. And I bet you everything I know, you would not apologize to her or make a video. After this allegation came out, same thing. I bet you won't come out and make a video apologizing to her, even though before Letitia Brown, it was known in Newport News, Virginia, and Hampton Roads that Carn was running through the church house up there, sleeping with people. I mean, at one point, they were accusing him of passing around STIs through the church with the girls, because he was just dropping panties. That was the allegation of the in Hampton Roads. And at the same time, he doing deliverance, miracle services every night. This video, it isn't about him. It's about the women. It's about women. See, Vashti, I just put this video up here because I just thought she was a pretty lady. But anyway, Vashti, she's no different than a lot of women, not just Christian women. A lot of women, very early in their age, they form an idol of a husband. What he'll be like, what he'll do, what you're supposed to do as a wife. Because for women to be of faith, it's very odd that they don't allow themselves to be led by the Holy Spirit about what to do for their husband, what their husbands will need, what their husbands will expect. They go through box checking. Cook, clean, have sex with them, be quiet. Cook, clean, have sex with them, be quiet. That's an idol. You're allowing yourself to be viewed as an idol, because you're not allowing the Lord to show you specifically what your husband, you see that, what your own husband would need from you and expect from you. Your husband may not need, want, or expect from you cook, clean, and have sex with him, be quiet. Your husband needs may be totally different. But because women allow themselves to be an idol, they look at their husbands as idols. And because of that idolatry, that's your blind spot right there. And the enemy exploits it. He exploits it. He takes advantage of it. He does. So because you don't realize you're operating in idolatry, trying to formulate yourself to be an idol and looking for an idol, you don't recognize that when situations come up where you're operating outside of the word, outside of the will of God, that is a clear indication that what you thought of for a husband, what you thought of for a mate was an idol, because it has led to you operating in sin and making a mockery of the covenant of marriage. You're making a mockery of what God says. You're doing a counterfeit of it, a fake of it. So that means something spiritually in you, it was out of order, and it's been out of order since you've been a child. In this time, use this situation as a wonderful opportunity to dismantle the idol in your life that you have in your head and your heart about a husband. If not, you will continue to be preyed upon, because you'll sit there and say, well, I believe them, and he said, well, what did God say? What did the word say? Nothing about what the Lord does will lead to you operating in a counterfeit of anything he's done or doing. The enemy does. He's good at counterfeit. The enemy is the originator of the counterfeit bags, of counterfeit products. You understand? He is the originator of. He believes in counterfeits, honey. That's who started it, and you're operating in it. And so that comes from your own deception, self-deception, known as idolatry of a husband, and what covenant marriage means, what kingdom marriage means, what it means to be a couple that lead, a couple that serves. You have an idol. You have a flawed, erroneous, sinful idea, prideful idea of what that means, and it's formulated straight out of the enemy's camp and coming out of the mouths of men and women, and you believe it. You need to dismantle it. You need to throw it down. You need to bust it up so that you won't be prey, because people who have the same kind of spirit as Mr. Carn, they're everywhere. Men and women, they're everywhere. They abound, right? Yeah, they're not just urges. Those are offerings to that enemy's camp. That's not just something physical. Oh, I can't help it. It's spiritual. And they're not having these kind of conversations and teaching because they're not ready to stop. And that idol and that deception shows up in other aspects of your life. And it will not prosper as God desires for you to prosper. You will start in the earth realm becoming the fulfillment of 2 Timothy chapter 3 in every aspect of your life, of what he said you will become. And notice that he said all of these attributes are related to spiritual conditions. They're related to the condition of your soul. When it comes to things of the flesh, as far as sex, those are sins against yourself. That means that you are self-polluting yourself from being a sufficient, adequate vessel for his work and his good pleasure. You're doing it to yourself. And that's why the enemy gets great joy in it. Once he can convince you to sin against yourself, then he know you're out of commission, even though men don't want to accept that you're out of commission and still sit there and listen to you and go along with what you're saying. Even though it's very clear, the Bible, just look at 2 Timothy 3. Those are all results of sinning against yourself. That leads to you sinning against people. Because God already know you're not fit to be used for nothing I want to do or I'm trying to do. These are the kind of people you need to stay away from. This is what they look like, and this is what they do because of their spiritual state and condition, and he's aware of it. The problem is humanity, man, people nowadays, they don't want to accept that because they have accepted an idol that they don't want to address in their own lives. And because you don't want to address the idol, you just continue to sin against yourself. God can't do nothing with you. You just turn right back around and deceive other people. Everybody sin. Everybody falls short of the glory of God. He who has the first stone. Yeah, you know why you do that? You like using those few little scriptures to manipulate and deceive people because you have been manipulated and deceived. And you submit yourself to it. You're obedient to manipulation and deception and sinning against yourself. You're obedient to those things. You have given the sacrifice of your body to it. You understand? So yeah, you will say anything to shut people up, which boil down to I'm not going to start doing it. And I like doing it, and I just need God to get used to it. Does that not sound like a demonic uttering? Does that not sound like somebody who are truly demonically oppressed? Let's call a thing and quit dressing things up. The truth will set you free. And the way people running around, they don't like hearing the truth. So guess what? They all bound, gagged, and hog-tied. They don't want to hear it. And they'll shut you up quick, fast, in a hurry. But I'm going to tell you something. Don't come walking up talking about what God forgive. Well, God showed you the truth. And you knew it, and you keep doing it anyway. So guess what? You are now a child of rebellion. Let's call a thing a thing. I'm not going to sit up here and Vashti, she just fell victim to herself, her idol in her head of what it would be like to be a first lady. It's what it's like to be a prophet's wife, that idol in her head. And so many others do it too. The idol in their head to be married to a six-figure earner. The idol in their head to be married to a man who own his own house, own this, have that. The idol in their head of being with a man 6 feet tall. The idol in their head to be married to a man that's a teddy bear. The idol in their head, you see that? Of the men that travel. They're idols. They're not formulated by God. It's something you slapped in your head in sin, iniquity, transgression, and in a fallen state. And then you don't have the humility to say, I need to let this go. I came up with this idea of what I like for a man or want for a man when I was in sin. Let me hold up and back up and see what God got for me instead. Let me find out what that looked like. Because you still holding on to what you want and what you like. Because that idol is still in control. And then you wonder, when you get what you want, guess what? Then it all falls apart. And you wonder why you headed to divorce or they done made you a baby mama. It's because you didn't address the idol in your life. And until we address the idols in our lives as women, we would continue to allow access to those things, to those people who should not have access to us. Spiritually, physically, emotionally, or sexually. I can't even say that what I just said is a warning. It isn't. It's just calling a thing a thing. Basically, the moral of the story is you should get tired of opening your spirit man to people who are deceiving you and manipulating you and keep going back to them. Natural realm, you should get tired of opening your legs with people who have no regard for you whatsoever or a precious life they may leave you with. At some point, you should understand I need to unpack and address an idol because this thing is out to kill, steal, and destroy my identity as a wife, as a woman, and as a believer first and foremost. It is trying to take me out using my emotions and my desire to be a wife, to fulfill what that Bible says about being a wife. It is trying to make sure it doesn't come to pass, and I need to address this. I hope this helps somebody. I really do. I really do. God bless you. Take care.